What's up, guys? Today on my channel, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to kind of walk around and explore this awesome house with you guys today. This is a new one, and it's my first time coming here. And it looks pretty awesome from the outside. As usual, there's a couple of old trees. As you can see, like in most farmhouses that we go to. This one's pretty special. It's got the old brick house paneling on the outside, as you can see. I really love that old brick house paneling. It's pretty cool. A lot of stuff to look at in this house. So we'll just go room to room and check it out. Here's the living room. While it's seen better days, it still looks pretty nice to me compared to a lot of living rooms I've been to, even though the ceiling is finally starting to fall in. Because like the rest of these houses, they had the cedar shake roofing, and once those cedar shakes blow off, it's pretty much game over for these houses. Got the old kitchen here. I like how these farmhouses had these bigger kitchen areas too. They just really used the room that they had available to them back in the day, unlike today, and I really appreciate that. Look at the big opening you have here in the kitchen, and the counters over here behind me, so there's just a lot of room. We're heading to the front door now. Like most of these farmhouses, they had great window placement everywhere, and this house was no different, really. Gonna go downstairs now. It's kind of spooky down here. There's a shot from the stairs. This must have been the entranceway back in the day, and this is how you got downstairs, because all that's down here is a hot water heater, and at one time maybe it was a pantry. I don't know if anybody ever did laundry down here, because I'm not sure how old this house is exactly, to be honest with you guys, but everything's pretty typical of this time, though. Check out this old hot water heater. Pretty cool. Gonna go back upstairs now and check out the rest of the house. This is my first walk and talk with you guys doing something like this, so it'll probably be pretty terrible, but maybe it'll get better as time progresses. See here, back in the living room. What a cool house this must have been back in the day. Every time I come to these farmhouses, I always imagine what it must have looked like when it was first built, and who lived here, and what are the people's stories that lived in this house. I've always wanted to see some old pictures of one of these places, but I've yet to find very much information on any of these houses, really. It's a lot easier to find information on the cemeteries around here than it is these houses. Try to exit out of that. The camera keeps wanting to focus on my face, and then it just moves everything out of whack. But as you can see, this house has taken a lot of damage, and it's one of those older houses where they use the lath and plaster. You see all those little boards? They nailed all those little boards up meticulously, and then somebody came in and sprayed plaster later on. Heading up the stairs now. Yeah, I definitely got to get better at operating this camera when I do these walk and talks, because I'm pretty out of control right now. So just bear with me. We're heading upstairs. The upstairs bedrooms are usually the rooms that take the most damage, obviously, because they're the first to get hit by the water when the roof starts failing. And in a lot of these houses now, not only has the cedar shake shingles fallen off, but even a lot of the boards are coming off. So it's almost completely exposed, as you can see up there. You can see all the cedar shakes are gone on this side. So every time it snows, this bedroom gets hit hard. I'm actually surprised that a lot of the little sticks are still up, to be honest with you, but a lot of the plaster is falling off. You can kind of see what that plaster looks like when it starts falling off. So they just came and sprayed these houses back in the day, and I don't really know what's in that plaster. It's probably not good for you. It's probably not up to code now. And this is pretty cool here. You always find this in these farmhouses. I call them the doorways to nowhere, but the truth is there used to be a porch right here, but it's all fallen down. As you can see, the evidence is down there on the ground. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere in Washington State. I can't give out my specific location just to protect the farmers and their properties. I know these houses are really important to a lot of the farmers out here, as they are to me, and I just want to do that common courtesy to the farmers to help protect their properties. Because as I've said many times in the past, these old farmhouses are time capsules to the past. They're very important as Washington State continues to change again, like it did back in the day when all the settlers came out here. I think a lot of this history is going to be forgotten unless somebody like me gets on the ball and starts doing something about it. And that's pretty much what No Name Explorations is about. So we're back in the living room. Going to check out a couple more bedrooms back here before we go outside again. Here's a little area. These are kind of cool too. I don't know what you would like really call these rooms, but they have spots like this in these old farmhouses too, that it's like a space here, but it's not really a bedroom. I don't really know what you would call it, to be honest with you. And as you can see downstairs, there's a little bit less water damage down here, just because the water hasn't gotten here as much yet. It's starting to. When you look at the ceiling down here, it's starting to come in, and everything's going to start falling apart down here too, just like upstairs. And it's going to be a sad day once this house becomes completely dilapidated. Definitely a special house with a special story. And here's the back door. There used to be a porch above, and they did a good job back in the day out here of planting trees around their houses too. If you go to any of the farmers' houses today, you'll see them covered with trees. It helps give them shade and privacy. And I think it just helps them see people before the people see them. And that's a good safety measure. Now we're heading outside. There was an old barn out here, but it's fallen down. over the last couple years. That's what the owner told me. The owner was a real nice lady that gave me permission to come out here and film this property. And I appreciate that a lot. So here we are. We're going to go check out some of these buildings out here that have fallen down over the years real quick. And then I'm going to take you guys around the outside of the house. And that will conclude our first of hopefully many walk and talks, if this is something that ends up being a popular thing on my channel in the future. It's not too bad out for a winter day in Washington State. I must say I expected snow today, but it ended up being pretty nice and sunny. As you can see, there's that awesome house in the background. Here we are. This is the barn that fell down that she told me about. Definitely seen better days. And here's another little outbuilding with a cool looking old car inside of it. Let's check it out real quick. I haven't been over here yet, so this is all a first for me too. Must have been where they kept the animals back when they were running their farm out here. I'd really be interested to learn more about this property and who lived here, because this is a magnificent little farmhouse out here. Let's check out the car real quick, guys. Got a cement foundation. Yeah, this is pretty awesome, actually. Little buggy. That's pretty awesome. I don't know much about cars. Maybe somebody that's watching can fill us all in on this old school car right here. The structure's definitely seen better days too. As the years go by, I see these old farmhouses deteriorating more and more. And then at some point, they're just going to be forgotten forever as they all fall down and get knocked over and just farmed over. I was talking to somebody that's a subscriber to my channel a few weeks ago, and I believe he says he lives in Iowa. And most of these old farmhouses have already been knocked down in Iowa and farmed over, so you would never know that they even existed. And I was thinking about it, and I think that's just because places like Iowa are a lot older than Washington State. Washington State was one of the last states to be founded here in the good old US of A. So we're just a little behind some of the older states and knocking these old properties down. And like I've said many times, the thing that bothers me about that is I don't want this history and this pioneer culture out here to be forgotten. So it's one of my quests in life to preserve this history and this culture out here. It's very important to me. And I'm going to keep doing the work as long as I can. What a beautiful house, right? I was really excited when I pulled up to this one this morning. It was a long journey getting out here, but it was definitely worth it. And that concludes our first walk and talk. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.